This is a 12 gauge slug that has hit a steel plate at 80 yards. Pretty much splattered. That's 1 ounce of lead, guys. Fired out of the controversial, and I'm going to say controversial in inverted commas, the XTR 12 UTAS shotgun. Quick safety check. Hi guys, this is RACKNLOAD, and this thing has been causing a little bit of a stir on the internet, especially on the Facebook pages. Let's just put the mag in just for looks. This thing, well, the older version, this is I believe the 2nd gen, but when these first come out, they were having a few little niggles. Okay, so before we jump into the review, we'll talk about that. Get that out of the way, basically. Yeah, they're having a few niggles, okay? Parts were breaking. I'll show you what was breaking in them, okay? I happen to have a spare bolt here. The bolt, as you can see, that bit there. Basically what was happening, they were failing, okay? More or less. Occasionally they were failing. This bit was breaking here. And I believe I've heard stories about this bit was breaking. The whole thing was snapping due to, I don't know, poor quality, can I say it? I don't know. They were just failing, okay? You know, only after a few shots, literally. But it seems it's been resolved. We'll have a look at that again in a bit when we talk about the bolt. Yeah, it looks like it's been resolved. I mean, as you can see in the video, I was running this thing hard, and I mean hard. I kind of wanted it to fail on camera, but I didn't, if you see what I mean, because this thing looks so cool. I really did want it to do well, you know, in the testing, and I've got to say, guys, it did. It done extremely well, and like I said, I was running this thing hard. I pretty much wasn't letting it cool down. I put all together about 450 shots through it in the morning. I was running heavy stuff as well. I mean, I was running buckshot. You can see me obviously using that. I was running buckshot, a lot of buckshot through it. I had about 50 rounds of 12 gauge slug through it. As you can see, like I said at the start, that's the remainder of one. Ran a load of that through it. Ran a load of heavy game bird shot through. No issues at all. But I did have feed issues with, and it's to be expected, with lighter loads. Now, I own a couple of other, well, I don't actually own this one, this one's on loan, but I do own a couple of semi-automatic shotguns that are shell fussy. Most semi-automatic shotguns are shell fussy. If you put low recoil loads through them, you are going to have feed issues. I don't care what you say, you're going to have feed issues. This thing, feed it heavy shells, you shouldn't have any problems. And that's pretty good, really, considering it's a box-fed shotgun. Because at the end of the day, and this is what we got to remember, guys, when people are like, oh, you know, it's reliability issues, blah, blah, blah. Shotgun shells were never designed to be fed out of a box magazine, okay? They were either meant to be just put straight in the barrel or ran out of a tube, like a tube-fed pump-action shotgun or semi-auto shotgun, okay? So, bear that in mind. But like I said, I didn't have any issues with heavy loads. It was just eating its way through them, this thing was. And I've got to tell you guys, it was so much fun. Oh, I hated doing it. It was, what a chore I had testing this shotgun. Oh, it was just terrible, it was. You've got to feel sorry for me, guys, you really have. So anyway, let's jump in with this review then. Let's tell you a few little specs about it, but I'll put all the details in the details down below the video. I can never do that on camera that way. It's because I've got the camera looking down. So yeah, that way, look down at the details in the video, put you all the specs. You can you know, read it all to your heart's content. But the main specs you'll want to know, this is UK version, so yeah, it's got a long barrel, it's got to have a 24-inch barrel, yeah, and it's got to be 40 inches long for UK law. And weight wise, this one is weighing in at 3.8 kilos. I'll put that in old terms or pounds in the details of the video, because I cannot work it out off the top of my head. But anyway, that's pretty much your specs. 12 gauge. These come with a 5-round magazine. I may as well talk about the magazines now before we go any further. Steel magazines. I've got to say, these things are pretty damn rugged. Not bad as well. You know, pretty easy to load. I mean, I was wearing gloves when I was loading them up. I always like to wear gloves anyway. I just feel more comfortable shooting gloves. But yeah, pretty easy to load. I'll just drop that one in. Pretty much like that. You make sure, I mean, I'm not teaching you guys to suck eggs, but always just with these, you've got to really make sure the shells are pushed back. Give them a bang when they've loaded. You shouldn't have any issues with heavy loads. But the magazines, brilliant, no problems at all. There's not much wiggle either once they're in. Just sort of normal, you know. They fit with a nice click, you know. They ain't going to drop out on you or anything like that. And because this is like basically an AR, you know, all the controls work like an AR, which I'll talk about in a minute. But that is your mag release right there, standard AR pretty much. You can also get, and I'll just grab it, 10-shot magazines, which are slightly bigger. Okay. These are obviously UTAS's own magazines. Again, nice and easy to load. By the time you get to the 10th shell, putting it in, it is a bit of a squeeze. You've got to really sort of push it down. But, you know, as the magazines have more use, then, you know, you're going to find it easier to load. Again, steel, nice and tough magazines. No problems with them at all. I'll just show you what it looks like with this in. It does look pretty badass when the 10 round is in. I mean, well, it's pretty big, isn't it? A 10 round magazine, and it just, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Put it like this, you don't need a bipod if you're shooting off a bench. You just lean on the magazine. No, I haven't said that. But it is pretty, what's the word? In your face, the 10 round magazine is. But there you go. Let's, I'll put the 5 round in just for looks. It's a bit more pleasing to the eye, I think. But yeah, the magazines sound as a pound. No problem at all with the magazines. Now let's jump in and talk about the rest of the shotgun as we sort of spin it round, and we'll go from the butt end. Just we'll talk about this. Basically, this is what you get with the UTAS. You know, you get it's an AR collapsible stock, pretty much adjustable stock. Got QD mounts there, so you can bang on a sling on this thing if you want. They're ambidextrous QD mounts. Adjustable stock, like I said. I don't know how many positions it's got. I've not really counted. I think there's about 4 or 5 positions there. So that's on its maximum. Okay, and then you can close it right up. I think I had it up pretty much on its maximum because I've got pretty long arms. So you can obviously swap that out, you know, for something better. You know, bang on a mag pull or something like that. You know, something maybe with a slightly wider cheek piece, you know, to add to comfort. But the one that you get's not bad. It's not bad. It does soak up a little bit of the recoil as well. The recoil pad does. Fairly soft rubber. Like I said, it's all polymer. It's adjustable. Pretty much, you know, that is your stock, standard AR stock. Pretty much, you can just bang on anything you want as well. You know, the good thing about ARs is, well, AR style firearms, you can throw anything on them. You know, you can swap out the stock, swap out the pistol grip. You know, you should be able to. I don't know if anyone has, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to change the fore end. Why you'd want to, don't know, because this one is pretty cool. But let's talk about the pistol grip then. Pistol grip, nice. It's plastic or polymer, it's not sort of rubberized. I myself would probably swap that out for a rubberized one. Again, probably just go Magpul. You can't go wrong. But it's not bad. Standard, it's not bad at all. And then looking at the rest of this shotgun, I keep wanting to say rifle because it's AR in style. This is finished in the I think they called it tungsten coloration, so it's like a metallic grey. It looks really cool, I think. Really cool. Available in lots of different colours. Obviously black. I think you can get them in flat dark earth as well. So pretty cool. And then moving along, obviously standard AR controls, ambidextrous controls. Your safety is ambidextrous. Okay. Nice and easy to use. Oh, pushing it the wrong way. It's nice and easy to use, so it's pretty damn cool. I didn't really use the safety catch that much because I was just I was on my own testing. I weren't in like a competition style scenario. I was just shooting the hell out of this thing pretty much. And then, like I mentioned earlier, sorry, it's getting heavy. It's just straight in my back. Like I mentioned earlier, standard AR controls. That's your magazine release. You've got T-bar cocking as well. So there's your T-bar. Cock it like standard AR. Last shot hold open. So if you've got the magazine in, last shot will hold the bolt open, so you can see that it's clear, which is pretty cool. And then obviously when you've changed your mag and put your new magazine in, you can obviously I'm not going to put a shell in while I'm on camera doing this tabletop review, but standard AR controls there. So you literally just press that and that will close the bolt, and then you're good to go again. So really cool. So this thing basically just works like a standard AR. It is basically a standard AR platform. Breaks open as well like a standard AR. I'll show you that in a minute. But moving along to the rest, let's just talk about the rest of the sort of cosmetics of the shotgun. Moving along to the fore end, I love the fore end. I love the way it's done. It looks really cool. There's not too much rail on there, if you get my meaning. They haven't just thrown on rail all down the sides. They've just put little bits here, a little bit here as well. So you're still fairly comfortable, and not too sort of, what's the word? Sharp on the hands, uncomfortable on the hands. When you've got rail all down the side that you don't ever use, you end up putting rail ladders on it anyway. They've basically just kept it sort of minimalistic, and I think that is really cool. Really cool the way they've done that. I love these vents. Well, I call them vents, but it just looks good. It looks really cool. It really does look cool. Again, you could, like I said earlier, you could probably swap that out for anything you want. I personally wouldn't, because I just think it looks good as it is. It's pretty much got everything you need. You've got loads of rail on the top, to throw on an well, would you want an optic? Depends if you're shooting slug or whatever. Riding on top of this, by the way, is a shield, what do you call it? A shield dot. Forget the name of it now. I've got it in my head somewhere. But it is a really cool red dot sight. I was using it to shoot at a steel gong at 80 yards with slug. It was absolutely bang on, this thing. I'll switch it on. I'll just show you guys what it looks like. If you can, don't know whether you'll be able to see, whether I'll be able to get it on camera for you. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on camera. No, I can't, because I'm just knocking my camera about. I don't think you can see it, but it is a real cool little red dot sight. Comes with a cover and everything. Ideal for what I was using it for anyway. It pretty cool. Shooting slug with this thing, pretty damn accurate as well. I mean, I took my first shot with slug at 80 yards, you know, I literally just aimed at the gong and it clanged that gong like a church bell. I can tell you, I've got it on camera, so I'll throw that footage in. But just a nice minimalistic sight for a shotgun like this. I'd probably just throw one on anyway, because you don't get sights with this thing, so you know, it's just begging for some sort of optic of some sort. So, you know, well worth throwing on a little red dot sight. I think I'll get the box actually. I've got the box for the red dot sight. That's the one. Center dot. I couldn't think of it. That's the sight. Shield center dot. Okay. Pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. So definitely worth a look at one of them if you're getting, or if you've already got one of these shotguns. Pretty cool. Keep both eyes open shooting it. You ain't got a good thing about red dots is you ain't got to close one eye or anything. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Now then, let's talk about the bolt. Now I can show you. I can basically open it. Hang on, I'm trying to doing this on camera. Pull the bolt open and you press that bit there, and you can basically hold the bolt open without a magazine in. I'll give you guys a look in there. That's what it looks like when it's open. Okay. Now let me show you the bolt. Now, like I said, I've got one here. One that I prepared earlier, saved me sort of stripping this shotgun down. That is your bolt. This is obviously like I said earlier, they've resolved the issues. This thing feels heavy duty, and I say, like I said, I put a lot of rounds through this shotgun. You know, I was just hammering it basically. I was hammering it, and I had no problems at all. I had nothing break on me or anything. So you know, it's held together. What can I say? But that's your bolt, nice and heavy duty, rotating bolt. So that's pretty sort of AR style as well. You know, sharp claw extractors there, as you can see. And then inside you can see your, don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but your ejectors in there. I don't know whether you can just see it. So this thing was pretty much throwing the shells out as well. I had no sort of ejection issues, light ejections where, you know, there was sort of just dropping shells down into my feet or anything. It was pretty much throwing them. Like I said, the only problem I was having, the odd stovepipe with lighter loads, double feeds, failure to extract, failure to cycle basically, failure to feed. With lighter loads, like I said, use heavy loads, you'll have no problems whatsoever. Now let's just talk about the rest of the shotgun. So there's your mag well there. Like I said, the magazines do fit quite nicely. You know, there's not a great deal of play. There's a little bit of wiggle, but you know, it's to be expected. But it's nothing major at all. You know, and they do, you know, fit in quite well. You know, there's no sort of sloppiness about it. You know, they're not going to drop out on you. They are stuck in solid until you release them. So that is cool. You know, they go in with a nice click. So no problems there with the magazine. Same with the 10 round magazines. You know, there's no problems, you know, with the loading of them at all. You know, so it's pretty cool. But oh my god, guys, what a great looking shotgun. It's just a pity that barrel's it's a bit long in it because we're in the UK. You know, it needs to be sort of gone there with a big muzzle brake on. Anyway, it is what it is. But guys, what a cool shotgun, what a cool shotgun. I'm so glad they've resolved the problems with these. You know, I would have been pretty much gutted if this had let me down and failed, you know, in testing. But it didn't. It done really well, really well. It was just such good fun. You know, 450 rounds I put through this, guys, you know, in like, I don't know how, I was basically just emptying a mag, loading up, emptying a mag, loading up. Yeah, occasionally I was having to reset cameras and stuff, you know, to give you guys the footage. But I pretty much was, you know, this thing was hot all morning, you know, it was, I wasn't letting it cool down. So, what a cool shotgun. Cool shotgun. Anyway, let's break it open and just close up the bolt. Right, obviously it strips down like a normal AR. Just take the pin out. Whoop, I'm trying to do it sort of. So it'll just break open like a normal AR, and there's your guts of your trigger in there. Okay, and then here's all your bolt. Let's just try and draw that out for you. I mean, I'm not going to pull it all out for you because it's just a pain in the what's it to put together. But that's your bolt. You know, I've got one here that I can show you anyway. Just saves me failing on camera putting it all back together. But it pretty much just does slide out. You know, you've got basically the components are the bolt, and then obviously you've got the T-bar, which I've got on here as well. Metal T-bar cocking handle, gas piston operated. By the way, that's the rod that basically does all that for you. You know, and it's pretty much. That's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty much it. That's how much it works. You know, that's how it works. Like I said, rotating bolt head. Yeah, I'll just pull that out for you. I may as well just pull it all out and just to show you guys. And then I'll turn the camera off when I put it together and get all oil over my tabletop. But there you go. There's the bolt. Like I said, this had some heavy use. This is the actual bolt in use. I've not cleaned it, so that is it, you know, and it's not mega dirty at all, to be fair, you know, and I ran a few rounds through this thing, so I'm pretty impressed, you know, pretty damn impressed. I even put homemade slug through this thing. Yeah, my homemade slug aren't the best, but and it did struggle to cycle them. It's because I've cut the tops off the slug. They were uncrimped slugs, basically. Well, uncrimped cartridges, but it was firing them, you know. Occasionally it would eject them, but that was just my sort of sloppy loads, basically. But they were hitting the mark anyway. But just run sort of heavy battery ammo through this, you'll be fine. You really will be fine. But that's your bolt. Just drop that back in, drop your T-bar back in. I'm trying to do this upside down on camera and I am going to fail. So yeah, I am failing as I speak. I'm failing as I speak. So I'll do that off camera. That's it, back together. I had to do that off camera, guys, because I was making a bit of a pig's ear of it. But it is a little bit fiddly, but it does go back together eventually. But yeah, that's basically your field strip. Like I said earlier, these are your component parts. Obviously, like I said, your bolt, your piston rod, and your T-bar cocking handle. So they basically your component parts. Obviously keep them clean, keep them lubricated. But like I said, that one out of the gun, pretty damn clean after all those shots, you know, so not bad at all, not bad, you know, fairly clean. The barrel's not too bad either, to be fair, cleanliness wise. Anyway, while we talk about the barrel, chokes, yeah, you've got basically, you get a set of chokes with it. I believe this one come with a set of chokes anyway. I'll just grab them. Whether that's the guys that at Blackmore Vale Guns chuck these in for the testing, so don't quote me, but I assume these come as standard with the shotgun. Maybe wrong, I'll annotate that in the video if I am. And then you get your choke key as well, obviously in the box. So you can whip out your chokes. Just get that in focus. Polymer choke key, that was pretty cool. So that's your choke key. Would I put a muzzle device on this? Yeah, probably, to maybe sort of help with the recoil, because when you are sort of battering heavy shells down range, it does kick up a little bit, you know, after 2 or 3 shots you're sort of fighting to keep it down a little bit. So yeah, maybe a muzzle device would help. Worth a try. I was going to try mine actually, but I wasn't sure whether it'd fit, and to be fair I didn't try it anyway, so you know, whether it was the same thread, my True Lock doorbuster. But you know, with a barrel like that, do you want anything else on the barrel to add length? You know, if you're going to be using this for sort of like open practical shotgun, you know, open class, don't know. But definitely a cool option for that, you know. It's not really something you're going to take to the clay pigeon ground, is it? So, you know. But anyway, let's talk about the rest of it. Let's look at the trigger. Trigger is nice. I do like the profile of it. It does break quite nicely, actually. Let's give it a measure, just out of interest. You know, at the end of the day, this is a shotgun, but, you know, an AR style shotgun, but yeah, some guys might be interested in the trigger weight, so let's give it a pull. Oh, I'll do that again, but that says 6 pounds flat. Let's give it another one. Yeah, about 6 pounds then, so quite a heavy trigger, but so what, it's a shotgun, but to be fair, it felt alright, the trigger did. I was just right, I felt anyway, with this type and style of gun. So my verdict on it, if it had fell to bits and blew to bits and God knows what, you know, like the old ones did, then I'd be telling you that now, you know, and I'd be showing you all the debris and no doubt my injuries due to it. But this thing, fine. It ran fine. And I'm so glad it did, because it is such a cool looking shotgun. Just feed them heavy rounds. If you're going to put cheapo light cartridges through it, it's going to have problems. It's going to have cycling issues at the end of the day. Put decent, half decent ammo through it, you know, that packs a little bit more of a punch than sort of just clay busting ammo. Put some, I was running what was it, Ely Special Game, I think, or Lionvale Special Game, can't remember. Super Pigeon as well, forget who makes them. It ran fine, cycling them, you know, it was ejecting them, cycling them. No issues. But as soon as I ran that light clay shooting ammo, it was having problems. So heavy loads, that's what you need, heavy loads. But that's it, guys. I mean, it is what it is. It's a box fed shotgun at the end of the day. AR style, so good looking. So good looking, you cannot deny it. It is such a good looking shotgun. You know, it's definitely a head turner. And it feels so good. The build and quality of it feel really good. You know, the fore end, you know, it does feel really nice. You know, the upper, you know, it's not sort of cheapo metal. It doesn't, nothing about it feels crap, basically, guys. You know, it all feels quite good. I can't really pick fault with it. Apart from the length of the barrel, but we've got to put up with that here in the UK. I really can't pick fault with it. If I was to have one, I'd definitely mag pull it. I'd get a better stock myself, slightly wider stock to make it more comfortable. You know, and if you're going to do that, then you may as well get a mag pull pistol grip as well. But other than that, pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. No problem whatsoever. You know, just a cool shotgun. I've had so much fun testing this thing. It's one of the most fun guns I've had to date, I think, on Rack and Load. So just great fun. Anyway, guys, that is it. That is the UTAS XTR 12. Like I said, the older versions had a few niggles. It looks like they've sorted it. My testing has told me that it sorted it. You know, like I said, I ran this thing pretty damn hard. You know, yeah, fair enough, I only had the 2 magazines, but I was literally loading them all up, mag dumping. I was shooting slug shot, you know, I was loading up mags with slug shot, and I was battering one of my gongs with that, loading it up with buckshot, you know, battering gongs with that. I was just hammering this thing, you know, and it was running fine with heavy loads. I've got to stress that, with heavy loads. Anyway, guys, that is it. That is your Rack and Load review of the XTR 12 by UTAS. Go and get one, because they are so much fun. Trust me, they are. You'll be happy with it. You'll be happy with it. Just feed it the right ammo. Thanks for watching, guys. That's Rack and Load. See ya.